Asaram convicted for raping a minor. The self-proclaimed godman's crimes in the garb of religion finally catching up with him.
He will be provided a uniform. He also had to contribute in the labor department of the jail, walks and morning walks for Asaram. And in fact, till the last trial, there were followers who used to come outside Jodhpur Central Jail in the hope to get a glimpse of Asaram. That is also going to stop. Now Asaram, the self-styled godman, is now a rapist, and he will serve his punishment like any other rapist.
Asaram awarded life imprisonment.
पुलिस अधिकारियों का भी बहुत धन्यवाद करते हैं जिन्होंने अच्छे से हमारे केस को सुलझा दिया और हम अपने वकीलों का भी शुक्रगुजार हैं उन्होंने हमारी बातें न्यायपालिका के सामने रखी.
But even before India could rejoice Asaram's conviction, politics over rape hijacking the issue. Congress tweeting out Prime Minister Modi's photos with the rapist Asaram. Even as the BJP found itself cornered, proof of Congress party leaders cozying up to Asaram emerged. As the nation unites to make India safer, Mirror now asks, are politicians trying to milk crimes against women? Is politics over rape hurting India? Let's debate.
You're watching the Urban Debate on Mirror now. Faye D'Souza, thank you for joining us. Another conversation about another rape. Thankfully, this time it's about justice that has been served and not justice that has been denied. But interestingly, in a couple of hours of this verdict being announced this morning, our political parties were back to their old games. Of course, to begin with, the Congress party tweeted out a video of the Prime Minister's association with the Asaram. Not realizing, of course, that enough of its own party members had gone to him looking for votes and for blessings. A quick Google search and you will come up with Digvijay Singh of the Congress, who spent time with him, Ashok Gehlot of the Congress, Mr. Kamal Nath. From the BJP, the Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, the former Prime Minister, Mr. Vajpayee, the former Home Minister, Mr. L.K. Advani, Mr. Rajnath Singh, Shivraj Singh Chauhan, and many, many others. It brings us to ask some very important questions today. Are these godmen winning themselves political patronage because they can manage votes? Is politics over rape hurting the women of India far more than we really realized? Should we allow our political parties in this manner to continue to sell out our safety in return for votes? And remember, viewers, this is not about one party or the other. They're all the same. They're all doing the same thing. We'll give them an opportunity, both the BJP and the Congress, to justify their stands. But the larger question is about the power that we give our politicians and the power that they, in turn, hand over to these religious men to take advantage of little girls and to bury the cases when it happens. Joining me on the show today, Vinit Goenka, member of the Governing Council of CRIS and former convener of the BJP IT cell. Shama Mohammed of the Congress Party. Shambhu Gawari is the spokesperson of the Sanatan Sanstha. Swapnil Kothari is a senior lawyer. Yogita Bayan is a social activist. And Aniket Nigam is a criminal lawyer. I welcome all of you to this conversation and I thank you for joining me. I'm going to start with Aniket Nigam. Aniket, if we looked at the details of this case, as we did this morning as well, a lot of the details were buried. The police dragged their feet an awful lot in the beginning. Interestingly enough, there were members of the BJP who came out in support of Asaram, but the government of the day in Rajasthan was a Congress government, led by Ashok Gehlot. Both of these parties are guilty of dragging their feet on this case because they were both looking for favor. Is that not true?
I believe that we are living in turbulent times. It is very unfortunate that in in matters like Asaram's conviction or be that of impeachment procedure that was sought to be passed by certain parties in Parliament to impeach the Chief Justice of India, I believe that judicial orders or judicial matters are not something that should be politicized. That is number one. Number two, when Mr. Asaram was convicted over a grievous offence of rape and under the provisions of POCSO, it is very unfortunate that political parties are trying to take mileage out of this conviction by showing some sort of affiliation of one political party with that gentleman. Now, in backdrop of these facts and circumstances, it is high time that political parties should rise above all their political differences. And when there is a conviction of a person by a court of law where the evidence is proved against him of having committed a grievous offence, it is best in the interest of the nation and for people at large that political parties should refrain from indulging in such kind of activities. I completely condemn such kind of an action, because doing so we are in a way undermining the conviction that has been handed out to Mr. Asaram, and what we are trying to do is patronize him by one way or the other.
Right, let me ask this question now of Vinit Goenka of the BJP. Mr. Goenka, when Mr. Asaram was arrested, there were various members of the BJP who came out in support. Uma Bharti, for example, who said that this is the Congress President Sonia Gandhi, the then Congress President Sonia Gandhi and her son Rahul Gandhi, who have, as a political move, filed cases against Asaram. Madhya Pradesh Industries Minister Kailash Vijayvargiya said he's a saint. And this charge has only been brought as part of a conspiracy. Mr. Prabhat Jha of the BJP said the rape charge against Asaram Bapu is a well-planned Congress conspiracy. And there's enough visuals on the internet right now to show that the BJP was close to this man. Why are you close to this man, and are you still supporting him?
Yeah. No, I think, let me answer this. Till a person is pronounced guilty is not guilty. So probably those information which was available to those leaders that time, the circumstances which was there would have pronounced that. Take the case of Colonel Purohit or Asivanand or Sadhvi Pragya. They have come innocent. So things which were happening in UPA era was determining this. Maybe that was the information which was available to these people whose name you have taken. Now the court has done it, so let us not get into this kind of controversy or this kind of discussion. Let us honor what is the court's decision. The convict has a right to go to Supreme Court and get relief if he wants, or get justice as if he wants. But right now, let us all come together to condemn this man. And whatever are the circumstances, and that circumstances probably these leaders would have commented. Now we can compare this case with Asivanand's case, we can compare this with Colonel Purohit. But as far as I go and what I understand today, be it be Father Sebastian from Kerala, be it be Mir Zavis who is from Kashmir, or Asaram, these all people should be booked, they should be given harshest punishment. I am very happy the Supreme Court, the judiciary there, the court in Rajasthan has given this kind of judgment. So let us welcome that judgment and raise the case here.
No, I have a question for you, Vinit Goenka. I agree wholeheartedly with you that anyone who is found guilty or who has committed a crime should face the harshest punishment. But the two cases that you did mention as examples, were those religious cases that you mentioned? Why did you pick those two cases? What is the point you are making? What is this veiled point that you are making?
They are the similar rape cases. So whether it is Father Sebastian who is there in Kerala or this Mir Zavis, both are rapists, both were convicted, these have been arrested. So I am trying to say any rape person is nothing to do with religion. Any crime.
You seem to be saying the exact opposite of that, though.
You don't have to see the religion of that person, whether he is a government or the profession of that person. Irrespective of his profession or his religion, if he is a rapist, should be condemned. And that's what the judge has done. And I think we should welcome the judge.
Why did you mention the religions? Why did you have to mention? You didn't have to mention it. You should have directly said that there were rape cases in Kerala. There were rape cases in Kashmir. Why you have to specify the religion? Because you guys believe in creating caste politics. You guys believe in religious politics. No, you had no reason. You had no reason. No government.
Asaram is the government. I am condemning every government. And I have the right to condemn every government. Irrespective of religion. Why, ma'am? Why are you talking about religion? These are the people who are rapists. Why are you so bothered? I don't understand why you are so excited, madam.
Exactly.
Why are you so excited? Whether Father Sebastian is not a rapist.
You are dividing us.
We are not dividing.
All right. Yogita Bayana, Yogita. All right. Calm down.
Do you agree to my
Is
assessment?
a rapist.
Madam,
Rapist, we call it.
One second, one second, one second.
Muslim
I can't discuss like this.
Okay, all right, Yogita, calm down. Let me bring in Shama Mohammed of the Congress. One second.
Condemn the
All right.
person
Okay, you know what, Vineet Goenka, you are a very, very intelligent man, and the very thinly veiled statement you made, none of us are stupid enough to have let it pass. We all noticed that you named one Christian and one Muslim. I agree with you, they should all go to jail. But it has not gotten past me.
Why do we have to talk about the religion? We don't have to talk about the religion. They are rapists. Don't we condemn a rapist irrespective of the religion, caste, profession? Madam, they are convicts.
All right.
Let us condemn them. Don't ask their religion. Don't ask their caste. Don't ask their profession, ma'am. God's sake, our children are at risk.
All right. I'm going to bring in Shama Mohammed of the Congress Party. Shama Mohammed, why is it that political parties cannot rise above politics when it comes to rape? Why are all of you still knee-deep in this sort of cheap politics over rape?
Faye, I don't know why you're saying this, and I agree with the BJP spokesperson that the rape, whoever is a rapist, does not have any sort of religion. Rapist.
I'm not. Hang on. One second. Shama Mohammed, I'm going to stop you there. So, Vineet Goenka, I'm going to stop you there. I am not talking about religion and rape. I am talking about politics and rape. I am talking about the fact that the BJP has put out ads all over the state of Karnataka, actually using rape as a point of election. That the Congress today shared a video on Twitter actually using rape as a point of politics. This is not religion and rape, this is politics and rape. Address the problem. I'm asking you.
Can I speak?
Why are you
Faye,
still in... No, you're not
Faye,
answering my question.
I would like to speak.
I'm not talking about religion. Stop
you're
talking
not
about
giving me
religion.
time. I'm going to... Faye, you have to have patience also. Just like we have patience listening to you, you have to have patience listening to me. I just started my statement. I have much more to say. So what I'm trying to say is that we did not politicize. This girl complained in 2013. The Congress party took it up. And when the FIR was filed, I remember Ms. Uma Bharati coming out and saying the next day that the Congress party is against Asaram. Sonia Gandhi and Mr. Rahul Gandhi are against. They're forming a conspiracy. Recently, even then and even now, Mr. Kailash Vijayvargiya again came out and said, look what the Congress party is doing against Asaram. The judiciary is against Asaram. This is what Mr. Vijayvargiya said. So we had agreed, we agreed the FIR was filed at that time. We were with this girl and we saw to it that she got justice. So I don't understand where we are playing politics. Even when Nirbhaya happened, immediately we came out with the Criminal Amendment Act. We took her to Singapore. Okay. Mrs. Gandhi was there in the airport. So we did whatever we can and we made tougher laws for them. And listen, let me tell you, in the question that I'm going to ask you. In 8 months, the trial and conviction happened. In 8 months, trial and conviction happened.
Now answer the question that I'm asking.
So where are we playing politics?
Okay. Now answer the question that I'm asking you. One second. I have on my screen today a video that the Congress party has shared with the Prime Minister sharing space with Mr. Asaram. Is that not politics over rape?
Okay, so when the Prime Minister of India in 2013 says that 10 राज्यों में 7 राज्यों में कांग्रेस पार्टी है जहां बलात्कार होता है, then he goes to London, UK and says, how can we play politics over rape? How can we compare हमारे सरकार में क्या हो गया, उसके सरकार में क्या हो गया? So when we have a Prime Minister who continuously and constantly has double speak and lies, we have to point it out to the people of this nation.
And you don't see that as politics. You don't see that as politics, especially when Digvijay Singh, Ashok Gehlot and Kamal Nath also shared space with the same man. You don't see that as politics.
We don't see this as politics. We are pointing out to what the Prime Minister keeps saying one thing before 2014 and other after 2000. I still remember he said, निर्भया को याद रखो जब आप लोग जाके वोट कर रहे हैं.
So what you're doing right now, how is this different?
So what I'm trying to say is that we are not playing. You saw the advertisement in the Karnataka newspapers.
How is this different?
You yourself
how is
saw
what
it,
you are doing different?
So we don't want to play politics over rape. Because for us, yes, we are different. We don't want to play. We have done everything possible for the girl who has filed the complaint against Mr. Asaram.
No, hang on. All right, let me bring in one second. Let's now argue this point by point. Let me now bring in, I want to go back to the lawyer Swapnil Kothari. After the complaint was filed in Delhi, the complaint was moved to Jodhpur. Did you know that the police in Jodhpur sent a summons? Waited 4 days and then sent a summons instead of issuing a warrant and arresting Mr. Asaram? They sent a summons because they were too afraid. And who was in charge at that time? Ashok Gehlot was in charge at that time. Who was running the state of Rajasthan? The Congress party was running the state of Rajasthan. So don't turn around today and say you did everything that you had to, because you didn't. Swapnil Kothari, please.
We did everything. She got justice because we took it up.
Well, you know, it is...
We took it up. We saw to it.
Swapnil, please, go ahead.
Yeah, I think, you know, if I can answer that question which was put up to me, it is not relevant at all. Yeah, it is not relevant at all as to who initiated the registration of the FIR and who helped the girl. It is, what is relevant is whether the law was allowed to take its own course, whether the police did their job. If the government of the day initiated that process, it is not allowed to take any brownie points because it merely did its job at the end of the day. So it is very imperative that the judicial process, or the legal process, should I say, should be absolutely free and bereft of any political overtures. There is a constant slugfest between the executive and the judiciary, which is resulting in the impeachment motion of the CJI, which is resulting in some lawyers not allowing a registration of the FIR in Jammu and Kashmir, or rather that was there where the Supreme Court had to step in. Then even in Unnao, in Uttar Pradesh also, there was a tremendous amount of political clout or political patronage given to Mr. Senkar until Allahabad High Court stepped in and ordered CBI to arrest that man. So it is very clear that that there is tremendous political interference which will eventually prove a death knell for our democracy at the end of the day. So it is so one needs to be very careful about that. One needs to be very careful about the fact that this political interference must stop, and either a political party, whether it's the BJP or the Congress, should stop from collecting brownie points from either whether it's the initiation of the FIR or whether now this judgment has taken place where Ashok Gehlot comes out praising and saying that, look, we were always against Asaram and the judgment has now gone against him and he's got a lifer, so it's great. All of these things are absolutely irrelevant, and trying to collect any brownie points or even criticizing Mr. Modi said that he's, you know, stating from London that, you know, what matters is ultimately that I'm going to get out an ordinance immediately, and the POXO amendment takes place in 2018. So each of the political parties should stay away from this, because rape is ultimately a dishonor and indignity of the woman in question. So one has to be very, and it is sans politics. There cannot be any politics in this at all. So one has to be, the political parties need to stay away from it and ensure that justice is done and the police is allowed to do its job freely without fear or favor at all. That is what I want to say, Faye.
Absolutely. And you know, one quick comment again from Aniket Nigam. Aniket, you know, it is not true that these politicians can make whatever statement they want and it doesn't have an effect on the cops. Because imagine if senior political leaders are saying things like he's a saint, this is all a sadish, what sort of impact does that have on the law and order system that is hoping to carry out an investigation?
I completely agree with you, Faya, because what happens is that when these political leaders who have got followers across the country, if they give such kind of statements, then there is some kind of illusion that is created in the minds of people. They start believing that what they are saying is true, that the order that is pronounced may be wrong, but they fail to understand that the order that is pronounced by the court is pronounced after sifting all the evidence that was brought forth before the court. Now, it is very unfortunate that when Mr. Asaram was convicted, one political party tweeted picture of our Prime Minister in order to suggest something. Now, such kind of practice must be stopped, because ultimately we have to understand that this is a court of law which has given its judgment after considering all the evidence that was brought before it. Now, which party was in power at the time of initiation of the FIR, which party was in power at the time of investigation, and which party was in power at the time of filing of the charge sheet is hardly relevant. Because before the court, that what matters is what is the evidence before that court, and not which political party is ruling on that particular day. Therefore, again I reiterate that it is very essential that all our political leaders across the party lines must stop such kind of a practice, because what we do is that we try to create some sort of confusion amongst the minds of our people in respect of judgments that are delivered by court. And in many instances you will see that without reading the judgment, without knowing what the evidence is, such kind of hollow statements are being made by the politicians in order to suggest that the judgment is wrong or there is some fallacy in that order, which must be stopped.
Absolutely. I'm going to bring in Yogita Bayana right now, who's a social activist who fights for women's rights. And I know Yogita is feeling what I'm feeling right now, because Yogita, on one hand, women and children in this country are constantly being abused, being raped and being violated. And our politicians can only see opportunities, either opportunities to take credit or opportunities to blame the other side. And that, to me, is the most depressing thing I have ever realized. Yogita.
Absolutely, it is so disturbing, Faye. It is so disturbing because we are dealing with such a big issue, you know, and we have just gone one baby step we have taken towards these devils in the society. So, I mean, there's a Pandora box which yet to be opened, and if they do politics like this, how we are going to counter these kind of crimes? I mean, we need to see the seriousness. It is a very sensitive issue. You don't know what a girl goes through. They need to meet few survivors, maybe then they realize the pain of the survivor, and they might deal with this issue with not political agenda, maybe with more sensitivity, and they need to, you know, acknowledge that there is a lot we have to do on this, whether it is Asaram, whether no Asaram. We should celebrate that he has, you know, got imprisonment, and finally the justice has been delivered. But I wish it should have happened much more earlier. And also, I mean, they are playing politics. It's very sad. It's very sad. Even the Congress spokesperson said, you know, we gave justice to Nirbhaya. I mean, it's such a statement. I feel so ashamed of listening to all that. We know how much we struggled to get her justice, and listening to all that credit going to Congress and some people taking credit in BJP. I mean, it's a shame for me as working with rape survivors. It gives me jitters, and my temperament is genuine. I'm not faking it. I feel that it's not an agenda to politicize it. You know, and also these kind of babas mushroomed in Congress times. Parties are on the same level. We can't spare one. You know, they all are same.
Vineet Goenka, go ahead, respond.
Can I come in, please, for this, Faye? I need to respond to her.
One at a time. Vineet Goenka first, please.
Yeah, I think, Faye, we should not get into this political debate. Rather, we should leave it as a legal debate, because any child, be it part of my family or anybody else's family, the pain is very high. As I said, you know, we should not call them as godmen. They are people with what I don't know the name which can be called to them, and at least are not on the channels. What we should look at this is we have a judiciary which is free of political pressure. When the court started the proceedings, it was UPA. When the court gave the judgment, it was NDA. Irrespective of the political class, the court could give the judgment which is today in front of everybody. The police could work. Let us celebrate that. Let us push this agenda that no political party will get into this. And my request to the activists will also be, no political party. And see, judiciary has been fairly good, be it CGI, Deepak Mishra, this thing. And the political efforts will be there from some parties which are not seeing good days to come. So what we'll have to do is leave this here itself and let the courts and the judiciary take its own course. Let us not demonize the judiciary.
Respect for what you're saying right now. I think that's a very good thing to say. One second. I'm sure Sama Mohammed, wait, I will come to you. Vineet Goenka. Now, I'm going to run on the screen an election advertisement run by your party, the BJP, in the state of Karnataka in the run-up to the elections. This was in 2 newspapers on Sunday morning. It says basically that the Congress party has resulted in these many rapes in the state of Karnataka, and the only way to prevent the rapes is to vote for the BJP. It's right in front of you. It's in English. It's very obvious, very easy to read. Now, quoting what you just said, that it doesn't matter which political party is in power, the judiciary is independent, and hence one must not take credit. That would also mean that one must not actually hand out blame to the other party, which is what your party is doing on a national newspaper. You also said, let's not politicize rape. Again, what your party is doing on a national newspaper. Now, do you want to explain to me why the double speak, why the hypocrisy about rape?
This is not a double speak. See, there are 2 different places, and please understand this. One, there is a rape which has occurred and the case goes to judiciary. Let the judiciary function independently. And that is what I meant. But we'll also have to see which government is there. In Siddaramaia's government, the children were not safe, ladies were not safe, girls were not safe, the farmers were not safe. And as a political party, we have to come out. There are numbers there, the numbers which are there. Go and file the numbers, man.
Okay, all right. You want to argue numbers with me? Nobody knows. One second. Nobody knows the NCRB data.
How Siddaramaiah government has failed on law and order.
One second. Vinit Goenka, nobody knows. One second.
You belong to Bangalore. You understand what kind of situation is there.
I do. Nobody knows the NCRB. One second. Nobody knows the NCRB data better than me. According to this advertisement, there have been 3,000 rapes in the state of Karnataka over the course of 5 years. Do you know how many rapes there are in UP in 1 year? 3,000. Do you know how many rapes there are in Madhya Pradesh in 1 year? 2,467. Do you know how many rapes there are in Maharashtra in 1 year? 2,292.
Single line, irrespective of the person. Miss Faye,
what you are
irrespective
doing
of the political
is
party,
politicizing rape,
irrespective of the person who does this crime,
gain.
should be condemned. It should be condemned.
Rape
The rapist should be booked, should be convicted. They
all
should go
you
through the
care
trial,
about is votes. Is that not true?
Game. Understand?
This is just about votes. Why didn't you put out a full list?
Not true.
Put out a full list comparing all the states.
This is the same Prime Minister who... Why the
put out a full list, compare all the states.
Why did we take 70 years to come out with ordinance for...
What is this statistical game that you're playing?
In last 70 years also. See the efforts with the Prime Minister is taking. See the efforts with the party is taking.
Dude, I'm not arguing about your efforts. I am taking grave offense as a woman in this country, as a voter in this country, that you are using rape. That you are using rape as a political point, and I think that's offensive to me. It is offensive. I am offended by all of you. I am offended by all of you. I am offended by all of you. Aniket Nikam, please go ahead.
Pai, can I come in?
I have to rebut to this man because this is not justified. He just spoke about the state we are in power. I have to rebut to that.
One second. As long as it doesn't turn into a screaming fight.
It's not fair then, no?
Shama Mohammed, go ahead. Sorry, Aniket, I'll come back to you.
I have to rebut to what Karnataka... No, I would like to speak. Yes, what I would like to say. Yeah, sorry, I just want to say a few points. One is that the gentleman here, Mr. Goenka, is double speak. He first says we should not politicize it. All right, I agree also we should not politicize it. But then there is the ad and then he says, you know, there are so many rapes happening in Karnataka. Now, they have introduced a new law, the POSCO, for the child that, you know, they should be death penalty below 12 years. Now, what is there? The law, which was the Criminal Amendment Act, that is not implemented in UP. When the poor girl went to file an FIR in the police station, they did not take in the FIR. The Criminal Amendment Act clearly says that you have to register the FIR when a rape victim comes to you. So, if they are in supporting the rapist when the law has to be implemented, what they want to look at Kathua, what happened? They were protesting, helping the law, the rapist. So what I'm trying to say is implement the laws. I'm telling implement the laws. That is very imperative. It is about that.
Yogita,
who talks about,
Yogita, do you want to tell us what happened during the Nirbhaya case when you were standing on the road getting hit with water cannons?
I want to finish one. I want to finish one more point. Yeah, I want to...
Do we need to say, we've all gone through this, how much we had to fight?
They were protesting for...
Nothing. Congress was like deaf sitting there. They were not ready to listen. They didn't act promptly. They should have acted promptly. And she's saying she's taking all the credit that 8 months we gave the law. That's why all these cases are happening. That was a law. You gave it to us.
1 week we got the Criminal Amendment Act.
Really? Did you do that? Did you do that?
I'm sorry.
Please. We know it because we struggled through it. We know. I work with rape victims, so please.
After 2014,
what did you do? What are you taking the credit for? 70 years you have given us unsafe country. What's the credit you are
One at a time, please. Shama Mohammed, you've had your chance. Listen to Yogita Bayana. One second. Calm down. Cut the mics.
No, she is not. Even now.
Okay. Yogita Bayana, I want you to remind our viewers what happened during the Nirbhaya case, because I know you were on the streets protesting with Nirbhaya's mother at the time. What happened then?
It is very evidently, we all remember how much we had to struggle even to voice out. you know, to give suggestions, to reach out to the ruling party, then Congress. You know, it was not that easy, that they were not so accessible. They didn't even make statements. We were urging our Prime Minister to even speak about it. They were not very approachable. I'm sorry to say that we had to struggle even then. Even right now we are struggling. So nothing has changed for us. Whether the political system has changed, the parties have changed.
I mean, I am sorry. I will not let. No. Faye, I have to come in on this.
I'm sorry.
This is not justified.
You should be sorry for right reasons. You should be sorry for right reasons.
All right. I'm going to bring in Swapnil at this point. Now I want to keep focusing this back again to the fact. One second.
Can you speak about Unnao and Katwa? I am sorry.
Urgent call.
This is really fair. You are not letting me speak. You make a person abuse the Congress party and then I cannot rebut. What sort of debate is this? Only one-sided debate. She keeps abusing us and I'm not supposed to speak on that. I'm sorry, this is not justified. I should be able to also rebut to what she's saying.
I did give you a chance to rebut. Go ahead, rebut. You keep it. I haven't given anybody.
Where the perpetrators.
You're not addressing the Nirbhaya problem. This whataboutery, you know, is normally something the BJP does. Address the Nirbhaya question she asked you.
A single. There is no whataboutery. Okay, let me explain. Yeah, I'm telling you,
India Gate, when your party was ruling, we were beaten up, all of us, not only me, all the students, all the Yuva, we were on protest.
Let us speak.
So what did you do?
We gave the verdict.
Give Caleb to us?
Let me ask you, listen, please do not interrupt.
Ladies, please, one at a time, please, one at a time. Everybody take a deep breath.
Please be quiet.
No, Shama Mohammed, one second. You're going to have to listen to me at some point. Shama Mohammed, calm down. Listen to me.
No, let me finish.
Okay, cut the mic. 1 second. You have to listen to me. You cannot speak both at the same time. Nobody can understand you and it's a waste of everybody's time. Now, Shama Mohammed, address the point that Yogita Bayana has raised about the Nirbhaya case, not any other case. The Nirbhaya case alone.
Talking about the Nirbhaya case. Now, she says that we didn't do anything. I would like to tell her that in 8 months, the trial and the conviction was done in High Court. That was in 2014 Jan. After that, the present government took over. It went into the Apex Court. And who drives the prosecution?
Even now, the hanging has not been done.
So why haven't they been hung till now? My question is that it was so please. Yeah, that is why, because they have not driven the prosecution. They have fast-tracked 2G case, they have fast-tracked coal, they have fasttracked triple talaq. They should have given conviction.
All right, I'm done
by
with
that,
this.
it's a deterrent.
All right.
If Nirbhaya
Stop it.
It's not a deterrent then, no?
Shama Mohammed,
it's
stop
a high-profile case.
Shama Mohammed, I beg you, as a woman, I beg you to stop it. The Nirbhaya case, I want silence from my panel. The Nirbhaya case was the most heinous case of crime against women we have experienced in this country. My blood curdles even today when I think about what that woman went through and how easily it could have been me, it could have been you watching at home, it could have been Yogita, it could have been Shama. Who was in charge of Delhi at that time? Who was running the central government? Who was running the government of Delhi? Who was running the Delhi police? We're going to sit here and apportion blame from one party to another, bringing it down to a... Listen to me, for heaven's sake, Shama Mohammed, listen to me. I don't give a damn about your politics. Both political parties don't care about anything but your votes. You all used it. The Aam Aadmi Party used it. You all used rape and you're doing it again. I can't believe that you don't have a single ounce of shame.
Isn't the little girl not important? Fair, you're very unfair to the Congress party. I'm sorry.
Wow.
You are unfair.
You know, let me just bring back Vineet Goenka at this point.
Talking about it. That was
one second, let me bring back Vineet Goenka at this point. Vineet Goenka, if you can hear this, I'm being accused of being unfair to the Congress party and being overly fair to the BJP. This is the first time it has happened since I began this show. So I will take that as a compliment. The more the political parties and the people in charge hate me, the bigger the compliment it is for me. I have no use for friends in politics, and I'm very happy if you think that I'm being unfair, because this is my job. I am going to be unfair to every single politician. Whose side am I on? I'm on the side of the women of this country, and that is that. Swapnil Kothari, I apologize to you. I interrupted you when you were going to speak. Swapnil Kothari, please go ahead.
It's not fair to put all of us in the same basket.
Swapnil Kothari, please go ahead.
Well, if I can get a minute's silence, then maybe I can speak. Well, thank you, Faye. It's fine. You know, there's only so much that you can do, especially when political parties tend to play a continuous round of musical chairs, which is responsible for this gangrenous spread of political corruption and political interference at the highest levels, including the judiciary. Now, my only request to both the panelists from both the parties, or any other panelist, or I mean any other party that has been there, is that we are here not to score brownie points over each other, but we are here to help Faye and her channel put forth views for the protection of women and try to see if there is political interference, and then how much we can do to stem that rot and try to remove that from the judicial processes. That is one. And secondly, one of the persons pointed out the Criminal Law Amendment 2013 was some sort of a boon. Yes, it was in many ways. And then the POCSO 2018, which also seems to be a boon, because we are asking for a death penalty for rapists of the minors. Now, let me point out one thing. In fact, both these criminal amendments have been challenged by a PIL in the Delhi High Court, and the Delhi High Court has issued a notice to the centre asking the rationale behind instituting all of these amendments, for the simple reason that there has been very little conviction under POCSO 1. And 2 is that this has enlarged the definition of rape to such an extent that it has become judicially impossible for the investigating agencies to bring that within the purview of the definition of rape so as to assist the judiciary in rendering appropriate justice. Now, this was more legalese. Let me point it out simply for the benefit of the viewers. What this means is that, first of all, what the judiciary is trying to say, the Delhi High Court is appalled, or rather finding it sherry and rather difficult to state, which it is stating in its own way by issuing a notice, Faye, is that how is it that a bodily harm to a minor is any more grave than a bodily harm to a 28-year-old or a 38-year-old or a 48-year-old? Aren't we violating Article 14? Aren't all rapist victims the same? So if there is to be a death penalty for for minor victims, rapists of the minor victim, then there has to be a death penalty even for the rapists of the victims who are above the age of minority.
Right.
Majors,
okay. I have to bring in Shambhu Gawari as well. One second. Shambhu ji. Yes, Shambhu ji, if you can hear me, I apologize. हमारी ऑडियो ठीक नहीं थी पुणे स्टूडियो के साथ अब तक. Shambhu ji, अगर आप सुन रहे थे, my question here tonight is simply this. तरह की politicians, political parties आते हैं. कभी-कभी किसी के साथ support दिखाते हैं, कभी-कभी किसी के साथ support उनका change होता है. वोट के हिसाब से, टाइम के हिसाब से उनका support change होता है. इससे किसकी भलाई होती है, शंभू जी?
थैंक यू फे फॉर आस्किंग माय व्यू. पॉलिटिक्स के बारे में अगर बात करेंगे तो पॉलिटिक लोग हमेशा खुद की बात करेंगे, खुद की जो फायदा तोटा है उस वही देखेंगे. सो दे आर ऑल आर इन वन रोल दैट दे want to take as much as benefits they are able to take from any incidents, whether it is a rape or whether it is any other kind of issues. So there is no legal benefits of discussing about political issues. And about this case of Asaram Bapu, let me express my view.
Yes.
They have right to go to the higher authorities. It is a basic right of every human being to go to higher authorities. So we still support Asaram Bapu for going ahead with higher authority. So that is their basic rights. Secondly, this discussion, whole discussion is going on the politics, not on the rape case. So this is very shameful for all politicians who are participating and taking advantage of this judiciary judgment. So it is very painful for as a Indian also that political parties always look at their own benefits. It is very harmful for our country also.
So, Shambhu Gawari, why do you believe that Asaram is still? Why do you still believe in Asaram's innocence?
Sure that,
why do you still believe in his innocence?
Because there are many cases. Let me explain that Sadhvi Pragya Singh, Colonel Purohit, then they are coming out after say 8-9 months, 8-9 years. So we are still believe in the judicial system that this is also a kind of Shadantra against Asaram Ji Bapu. So the fact will come out soon, and he will get a relief from the jail. So that's why we are expressing our view that he should go to the higher authority and fight against injustice.
So you believe
Asaram Bapu has raped 2 sisters along with his son. That's
Allegedly.
another case lying in the Surat court. Please ask him that.
No,
about
you
those 2
believe
sisters who have been
that the
raped
colonel,
in
and,
Surat.
you know, this is interesting.
Yeah, allegedly. But you know, rape cases are not like other cases.
Aniket, you know, both Vinit Goenka and Shambu Gaware brought up the Colonel Purohit case. Now, Colonel Purohit did not hurt and permanently injure a minor child sexually.
They have to hang, but after 8-9 years of
this, we are talking about a child. You are talking about a young girl. How can you draw a comparison?
Dirty politics which Congress is playing always. So this is another example.
I think that's
how can we influence? How can the Congress party influence a child?
Example
how can a Congress
and comparison at the same time? Because case of Colonel Purohit cannot be compared with that of Asaram, Mr. Asaram.
No,
that's a completely misplaced example for the simple reason that in the case of Asaram, the prosecutrix, the victim who's been outraged
gets relieved after 9 years.
Has stood by her testimony. She has testified in the court of law and she has told the court whatever has happened to her, and that case cannot be compared with the case of Mr. Purohit. That's completely different, because in the case of Asaram, the prosecutrix has stood by her evidence. She has stood by her testimony. That is number one.
No. This is just the example of dirty politics and nothing else.
All these political
this is just
parties,
a dirty
whenever
politics.
any sensitive judgment comes out,
witnesses have
whenever
been
any
killed.
sensitive judgment comes out, they try to.
Now, hang on. Shambu Gaware and Vinit Goenka, by comparing this case to the Colonel Purohit case, are you telling me that this is politics?
Who compared this case with Colonel Purohit? Miss Faye, who compared this with Colonel Purohit? It's a judgment. Did somebody compare it with Colonel Purohit?
This is just a dirty politics.
Father
and all
Sebastian. I compared it with Maulavi Aziz.
So we are still in the belief of that.
No, but who compared it? Who compared it, man?
I'm going to take some phone calls.
There is one important thing. 2 witnesses
I
have also
compared
been
this with
killed
Sebastian.
in this particular case of this girl.
Shama
2
Muhammad,
witnesses have been murdered.
Shama Muhammad, you know, we can keep discussing the merits of the case. We can keep discussing what happened.
2 witnesses have been murdered.
The moment your party decided to make political gain out of it,
rape victims. We all should stand with them.
We all stand by the victims. Don't give me a lecture about women. We all stand by it. We're not taking advantage of the situation.
We all want to stand with the victim.
Rama Subramaniam on the phone line from Vijayawada. Mr. Rama Subramaniam, go ahead.
Yeah, madam, I'm Rama Subramaniam from Vijayawada.
Yes. Please go ahead.
This is how it is happening in the entire country as of now. We have been observing. There is absolutely a lot of nexus of the political parties with the self-styled government. The politicians which are supposed to be public servants, if they hang around these government, self-styled government, perhaps it would send wrong signals across the country.
Yes.
Because these public servants, they need to understand, they need to sensitize. They are supposed to be role models. What is it we are looking for from these public servants? And particularly the hapless communities. You know, they say in India, 65% of our population is of 35 years of age. It is the age that we have to nurture. The public servants, they bore a lot of responsibilities. I am very much thankful today, at the end of the day, our Indian judiciary system has been solidly behind this, the entire verdict. And I am thankful to the judiciary system for having given us. And today, at the end of the day, Indian judiciary system proved itself, and we repose a lot of confidence in this.
Right. Yes, we are grateful to the judicial system. Vinod Jain on the phone line from Chennai. Vinod, go ahead.
Yeah, नमस्कार जी.
नमस्कार.
आप सुन रहे हो मुझे? आवाज आ रही है?
Yes. आवाज आ रही है. बोलिए विनोद जी.
हिंदी में बोलूंगा.
जी बोलिए.
मैं हिंदी में बोलूंगा. आप कैसे सहन करते हो इन सब लोगों को, बीजेपी, कांग्रेस या कोई भी पार्टी हो, मुझे कोई लेना देना नहीं उन पार्टी से। जब एक छोटे से गांव में रेप सब होके वो लोग इतना मुश्किल से फाइट करते हैं और ये लोग जो रेपिस्ट है उनको बैठा रहे हैं, फिर लास्ट में वो लोग जीतते हैं तब ये क्रेडिट लेने के लिए खड़े हो जाते हैं। क्या हम लोगों ने किया? क्या किया तुम लोगों ने? कुछ नहीं किया। तुम लोग किस मिट्टी के बने हो वो ही पता नहीं है। इंसान हो या एनिमल में काउंट कर किए जाते हो कि एनिमल से
Why are you taking advantage? All right. Why are you taking advantage? Vineet Goenka, do you want to address that question?
Yeah, I'll tell you. Nobody's taking advantage. Nobody's taking advantage. Rather, if you heard my first statement that it is condemnable irrespective of the person who has done it. Okay, in my personal capacity, also or other capacities, I like to condemn this, and nobody interferes in the judiciary. It was 1 year which was in the earlier government, 4 years in the next government. So nobody is taking advantage of this. But as a responsible political party, you comment on everything which is happening. And you have to do that. That's the role of a political party. A journalist also is asking the question. So do we ask questions to them? So gentlemen has to understand, a political party has to pass its own stance. It has to convey its own stand, its own feelings. And that's how the entire democracy works. Because this sensitization happens to the political party, they also learn things and this kind of ordinance come out. We all are evolving. Political parties also evolving out of this. I would like to take one more opportunity here. Whether it is my party or any other party, I think we can all grow up. We can come above this. And this kind of incidences can only stop if we give it up. And we have to say into two parts. One, what is the existing law? Two, how do we enforce this? And how do we communicate to the perpetrators of crime that we will not tolerate this kind of thing? What happened all these 70 years, let us forget that. At least now we can communicate that this will not happen in our country, whether it is rape, whether it is molestation, whether it is field rapes, anything, let us not tolerate that. I think what everybody here has to agree today is, let's forget what happened in the past. But here forward, at least not politicize this. Let's not give advantage to this kind of governments, whether they are evangelists, whether they are some Maulvis or some governments of any other religion.
Okay.
So let's stop this.
Mr. Vineet Goenka, since you're saying that you can change and we should move forward, Kuldeep Singh Sengar of the Unnao rape case is now accused and taken into custody by the CBI, accused of rape of a minor. He is still a member of your party. Shouldn't he be removed from the party and made to resign from his MLA position?
Or suspended?
Whether it is Unnao case or it is Katwa case, people who are involved should be punished.
Very
that has been the
question.
stand of the party, also myself. So they should be, yeah.
So why is he still a member of your party?
For both the places. So irrespective, so that decision will be taken. Probably the party will take the decision, irrespective of anybody who is there, whatever, whether he's an MLA, a minister.
So what does that mean? Probably the party will take a
punished.
decision means what? How many rape accused have been removed by the party?
So don't worry about that.
Sakshi Maharaj is a member of parliament, incidentally also from Unnao, who's also rape accused. Why is he still a member of your party?
I'm not aware of this case, so I'll not like to comment on that. But if there is a person who has been convicted or been accused, party takes action on that. And probably this is only the party which is clean, which talks about very firmly. And you see the Prime Minister shown by action, by coming out with the ordinance.
Vineet Goenka, does your party have an internal, does your party have a sexual harassment cell, an internal complaints committee where the women members of your party can complain in
We do have a disciplinary cell. There is a disciplinary.
It's not the same thing.
There is a disciplinary
How
action.
many women in the disciplinary cell?
Action team. There are Sangadan Mantri. There are disciplinary things been taken out. There are people who took care of this. There is a Mahila Morcha, which is very, very effective Mahila Morcha. We have, this is the only party which has got Mahila representation in every cell, whether it is Yuva Morcha, whether it is IT cell, everywhere. So this is the most, if you see, my party has given women more rights than anybody else. Probably if you talk about internal disciplinary this thing, we have a disciplinary system, where are the actions have been taken, they talk about this, ma'am. Otherwise, the minister would not have been asked to resign in Kashmir. So please understand.
You still haven't asked Kuldeep Singh Sengar, who is responsible to resign. You haven't removed him from your party. Swapnil Kothari will respond. Swapnil Kothari.
Mr. Goenka, I have only one suggestion for you.
I want to come in here, Faye. There is one particular thing he has not...
No, please allow Swapnil to speak.
Debates.
Please allow Swapnil to speak.
May I finish, one person speaks. I can't see here, but two people speak.
May I finish, please?
Somebody has to stop.
I'll finish.
One person can speak.
My question is to Swapnil Kothari. If your name is not Swapnil Kothari, please don't speak.
Yes, Mr. Goenka. Right. Mr. Goenka, I have only one suggestion for you. FAY has done debate after debate, and you've been on several ones of them, where, you know, including Aadhaar and all so many other things, especially these women issues as well, whether it's rape, molestation or whatever. And you have noticed that Jagdish Singh Khattar of the Haryana government, Yogi Adityanath of the UP government, have made some of the most atrocious and despicable statements. You are stating that they have not been convicted yet. Forget convicted, they have not been even charge sheeted. So the question of conviction doesn't arise. And then we are talking of lower rung MLAs like Senkar. And we have not even, today I'm saying we because I voted for the BJP. And I'm appalled at the fact that you have not even suspended them. So the question of people having that faith that you will take rectificatory action against the MPs is absolutely diluted to that extent. I'm not even sure if you're not able to do that, how are you going to even assure the people of this country that you're going to tell the administrative system, the police or whoever it is, to work without fear and favor and try to do their job judiciously? These are just 2 of the 3 states that I've pointed out which have got maximum number of denigration of women, if I may say that, because women are considered as commodities. They're objectified from top to bottom. So this is absolutely atrocious and despicable, and this is something which you should take note of more than Aadhaar. Supreme Court will take care of Aadhaar, but this is something which, you know, as far as this particular thing is concerned, this boils down to the grassroots levels, especially with MPs like you who are sensitive and who come across on debates after debates and learn so much from these debates and go back with a conscience. And I would strongly recommend that you please recommend it to the highest levels to do this.
Right. Shama Mohammed. Quick answer, and then we have to close.
Can I answer?
Faye, I have a question for Mr. Goenka. He is taking the moral high ground. I would like to ask him, why did Mr. Adityanath withdraw a 7-year-old rape case against Chinmay Anand, who was the MOS for Home under Vajpayee? Can you answer that question for me, please? You are talking about Adityanath. Why has he withdrawn this rape case? Please answer that. Do you have the answer for that, Mr. Goenka?
Mr. Goenka, go ahead.
You're saying, okay, Senkar will be punished by the party. Okay. Are you going to punish Mr. Adityanath? Tell me.
Madam, have patience for... Can I answer, ma'am?
Yeah, tell that. Give us the answer on that. Why has it... Yeah,
let him answer.
Yeah,
let him answer. Go ahead, Vineet Goenka. Please answer.
Mr. Kothari first. Thank you for voting for us, Mr. Kothari. And I can assure you one thing: a small karyakarta like me, or be the ultimate senior most person in our system in BJP, Modi ji, all of us are very sensitive to these kind of matters. We all learn every day. We go back to our party and we discuss it, sir. So that's what we do, sir. Whenever we have talked about Aadhaar also or any other matter, I go back and wherever I can talk, and we have done that, and you could see the actions coming out of that. So let me assure you once again, at least in my case or many other people who speak on the televisions or any other forums, we go back and give our feedbacks, and the feedbacks are taken very seriously. I will go back and give your feedback, sir, as it is. So be assured I'll give this feedback as it is. Now let me answer to the Congress person. Madam, if you want me to open the Pandora box, I could do that. But today is a painful day where we are talking about a rape and judiciary system giving a judgment over Asharam. So let me not give an answer to you. But in case you want to do that, I'll request Ms. Faith to give an opportunity.
You have to answer. You told me we will take action against anybody who speaks.
Madam, I didn't interrupt when you speak. I was not interrupting when you were speaking, so please allow me to speak. Okay? Don't act like a Congress person who do not allow the House to function. If you want me to open the Pandora box, I can give you number list. The same Asharam was given land by you in 1981, 1992. Why did you give a land to them? You gave land to Asharam Bapu in 81-92. 40 years he was surviving. Why were you patronizing them? Who is Dhirendra Brahmachari?
I am asking.
Who is Chandra Swami? They were all patronized by you. Madam, let us not discuss this. For God's sake,
he did not rape them. I am asking Adityanath's answer. You don't have.
Miss, do you want me to answer her?
Let's talk about the present.
You want me to answer her?
You said from today onwards.
I've run out of time. I'm closing this debate right now. I'm closing this debate right now. First of all, because it's disappointingly despicable that our political parties have started what I can only call a rape race to decide which one of them is more responsible for more rapes. Look at the situation. They will only talk about rapes when they're in opposition, both these parties. When they're in power, They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to acknowledge it. The women power in these parties will not talk about rape when it happens. The same ones who were complaining when they were in opposition. Same women will not stand up for the women of this country when they are in power. Every single political party has made a beeline to this Asaram. Why? Because he has thousands of followers and he can ask, and he has asked, and there are videos. Spend some time on YouTube, you'll find those videos. He's actually told his followers, vote for this person. What does he get in return? Political patronage. A police force that barely has the teeth to come down hard on him. Remember, this is just one case. There are 2 more cases. The second case is the Surat sisters rape case, where he has been accused of raping 2 sisters in shockingly similar manner in this one case that we've discussed today. There is a third case where 2 boys, 10 and 11 years old, washed up on the banks of the river outside of his ashram, dead and missing their internal organs. This person had constant political patronage from both parties. They'll both show up today and talk about how they've done such a brilliant job. What job have they done? What job did they do during the Nirbhaya case when it happened? How did it happen to begin with? What job have they done today? How many of them came out and spoke with the Kathua and the Unnao cases? How many of them acknowledged the fact that there was a BJP MLA who was accused and the victim's father was killed inside a police station? And even if you accept all of that today as the reality of the country that we live in, consider the fact that they put out ads in newspapers using rape as a point of elections to get votes. Can you think of anything more despicable than using rape as a point of election to get votes? And even those numbers are manipulated. There is nobody on our side. We have to be on our own side. And I keep making this promise. We are going to release information about nobody on our side. We have to be on our own side. And I keep making this promise. We are going to release information about beg you viewers not to vote for these people. It is the only way we can make our voices heard. Thanks for watching.